In northern British Columbia, on the Freddy brothers' remote mountain mine, Freddy and Juan examine the result of the short 2-hour run.
Well, first impressions?
From watching it run, the good news is we do have a few ideas already, so.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Every little bit helps.
Yep. That's the goal, is catch as much gold as you can.
Yep.
Every piece that gets away is a piece that's not in your bank.
That's correct. Yeah.
Hey guys.
What do you think?
Well, gotta dry it up.
Let's see where we're at.
To hit their daily goal of 2 ounces, this 2-hour run needs to deliver 0.4 of an ounce.
Close my eyes.
0.20.
It's a little lean.
It's a little horrible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty discouraged. Put a lot of effort into getting that out and not getting a return. It's pretty disheartening.
If gold was everywhere, it wouldn't be worth anything, so.
Unfortunately, that's not near what we need.
We actually went down and panned some of the tailings coming off your sluice, and we did find some gold.
Yeah, small stuff, but you're always going to be losing some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the less you lose, the more money's in your pocket.
Exactly, yeah. Need something to help fund our future here, so.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That particular cleanup right there isn't viable for you guys, you know, the equipment, even though it's just 2 of you.
It's really not going to cut it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even enough to cover the diesel that we ran in the generator to process it, so, you know, things need to change.
If Freddy and Juan can't help, we can't continue on mining where we are like that. We'll have to sell or move on and do something else.
With the Freddy claim more than half a day away from the nearest parts store, Freddy and Juan put their backwoods mining ingenuity to the test.
They got a little bit of a scavenger pile here, some pipe, some hose.
There's more stuff over here, Fred. Let's take a look at this. There you go, boss man.
Oh, go ahead.
You know me, I like shopping, Fred.
Are you shopping? There's all kinds of neat stuff in here.
All kinds of goodies, Freddy.
It isn't what we want, but it's what we got.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how mining is sometimes.
Yep.
You don't realize how far you are until you get out into a place like this where, you know, really, if I got to go to the hardware store, it's going to be a 12-hour round trip. And that's just not feasible. We don't have the time to do that, so we're going to use as much of the material that they have here on site.
Useful salvage material identified. The next step is a plan.
What do you think, Juan?
Well, I'm really thinking we need to focus on that sluice box, Fred.
So what do you think? Modify those top Hungarian riffles for sure. They're spaced too narrow. You felt them.
Yeah, I think so. You know, if we can get in there and actually space them a little wider.
Exactly.
That little spray bar they have is not even hitting the material on the side.
Well, it's spraying just like you said, Juan, straight down.
If your stream is not hitting the material, it's not washing it.
Washed. Yeah.
But if we don't get them on gold, it does nothing for them.
We got to find them some more pay.
The big thing that we're thinking of doing is actually reconfiguring your sluice box, that top one.
Yeah.
And you guys got it set up pretty good right now, but we're going to reconfigure your nugget riffles to actually make them have different spacing.
Right now, everything's the same, all the way down.
No changes.
Every piece of gold, it's the same environment all the way down. We want to change that up, and by changing the riffle styles, it'll change the velocities as well. You've got all the material that's really needed here, except the undercarpets, and we've got some of that carpet with us.
You know, there's a lot to be repurposed out here. And really, you know, the amount of material that we need, we talked about it, it's probably about $200 in material. It's not much, because you have most everything we need.
Yeah. $200-300 in material is all it'll be.
But on top of that, you know, Freddie and I talked about it. If we don't have any decent pay to go through this plant, then it means nothing.
Yep.
So
I can come in and I'm all fresh. I've never seen it before, so everything's new to me on this property.
That's one thing that we've often talked about, though. You first set eyes out here.
So an ounce a piece at the end of the season and roughly $300 in material.
No.
Well, that sounds like a good plan to us, so.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's do it.
After a week of making major upgrades to the wash plant and a 3-day prospect for better ground, Freddy and Juan will run a 2-hour test.
All right, we got water headed north up the hill.
Copy.
Hey, Les, I got water at the plant.
We're pretty excited about it. We're going to go ahead and get the equipment fired up, and we're going to start running the plant. We're going to get some gold in the box.
Hey, Les, first bucket's going in.
First bucket, Fred.
Start timing it.
Nice.
Keith and Les Parody need this test to deliver over 0.4 of an ounce to keep them on track for their 2-ounce-a-day target.
Well, this new spray bar seems to be doing the trick, Les.
Look at that. Perfectly clean.
That's clean.
That's clean.
Yeah, you can eat off of it, Juan.
It's perfect. Can't beat that.
Oh, you got more water now.
Do we?
Since you put that spray bar in the back,
Oh, okay.
you probably have 10% more water going through than you had before.
That's good. He's running it. His new spray bars are working good. It's washing it out nice and even, he said, so.
The bottom ripples are working good.
Yeah.
The plant, it's running great. So as long as there's gold in the ground, I guarantee you that this cleanup's going to be better than the last one.
Well, there's 0.20 right there, guys, in there, and we got a lot left in the pan. .55.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty damn good.
Little bit of-
Over
little bit of-
100%,
Yeah.
guys.
That's a huge improvement.
Huge improvement.
You're doing all this all by yourself,
Yes,
huh?
I am.
So you're feeding the plant,
Yes.
tailings, digging the pay,
Yes.
Wow.
doing the cleanup,
Yes.
everything all by
Everything.
yourself.
All by myself, yes.
It's a lot of work for one guy.
It is.
Yeah.
Ton of work.
Last year was actually my really first year setting all this up, trying to get everything all up and running. And of course, it took me all summer to go through, I would say about 40, 50 yards of material.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, not much at all,
So
especially.
that's all you've ran?
That's all I've ran through this plant,
Are you about out of savings?
pretty much.
Really?
I'm losing a lot of money doing what I'm doing. We don't have nothing in the account. It's all invested into here.
You got any of your gold?
Actually, yes, I do.
That's really good looking gold,
That's
though.
beautiful gold. What kind of gold are you needing per day to make a living in here?
Well, I would like to at least pull out an ounce every second day, you know,
So, last summer, how much gold you get?
about 20 grams last year.
20 grams last year.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, not much at all.
20 grams of gold is worth roughly $1,200.
What's your goal for this year?
I need to make at least 40 ounces a season to get out of the red to get into the black.
Okay.
You
It's a big
know,
jump, yeah.
is a huge step.
Terry needs more than 50 times that amount, around $70,000 in gold, to make up his losses.
Well, let's fire the plant up and run 4 hours
let's
and
do
see
it.
what we see.
All right, that sounds good with me, guys. Okay, Freddy, firing it up! All right.
First bucket, Wano.
Start the time.
4 hours.
First step in his process, Terry sifts out large boulders with a rock grizzly. He then feeds the pay into his 5-yard hopper feeder. A 35-foot conveyor belt carries this material to a pre-wash and shaker deck, where it is graded before it passes down into the sluices.
Pretty wet material, eh, Wano?
Yeah, very
Pretty
wet
damn.
material. You almost need a vibrator on that.
Yeah, it does. It's not gonna fall through. Stuff's just plugging up on that grizzly.
Time to go have a look here, see what's going on. This material's been sitting since last year.
So it's pretty wet, huh?
It's still wet, like it's already 2 years old. I'm very frustrated right now. I thought for sure that the material would be a little bit better. That even though I inline my hopper feeder, it's still sticking to the inside walls. So it's actually not sliding down where it's supposed to. Let's see what the heck here. You know, I gotta bang the side, you know, just to keep the material moving. Oh, okay.
Once through the hopper and into the shaker deck, the pay dirt splits into 3 different sluice runs: coarse, medium, and fine. A 4th run, for extra fines, passes through a centrifugal bowl that separates the gold by rotating at high speed.
What do you think, Juan?
I don't know, Brett. I'm not a big fan of that bowl.
No, I don't either.
Let me get a gold pen. I want to see what that bowl's puking out.
A centrifugal bowl is lined with rubber riffles. Mounted on a vertical shaft, it spins at over 100 RPM. This centrifugal force causes gold to travel upward along the inside of the bowl, to be pressed against the walls and caught beneath the rim. But if it becomes clogged with wet pay, gold escapes into the tailings pond.
Bit of material in there.
Two colors, Juan, or maybe 3. It's so fine that might need a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I see 2, Fred.
2 really fine ones, huh? I have a lot more faith in a really good sluice box with that bowl in there.
Running out of fuel means one-man Ben Terry's test run was just 3 hours, and with material constantly clogging, he only ran 6 yards of pay.
Moment of truth there.
Yeah, gotta make sure we get all that out.
0.06.
0.06 for a 3-hour run.
Juan and myself, we've seen a lot of stuff, but this is almost the worst gold we found. You aren't gonna buy a new house with it.
0.06 ounces, worth around $100.
It's $15 a yard,
Okay,
which if you can run yardage, you can make money on it,
awesome.
right?
Well, that's what I was
So if
hoping.
you can go from 2 yards an hour to, let's say 10, instead of $30 an hour like you're running now, it's $150 an hour. You just got to get more material going through that plant. You got the gold here.
If Terry can run 80 yards of pay instead of 16, he could make $1,200 a day and could exceed his half-an-ounce target to turn a profit. Freddy and Juan plan to set out the pay into V-shaped piles called windrows to dry it out before going through the plant. 2 vibrators on the hopper will stop any pay sticking to the walls. They will modify a counterweight on the pre-wash to help shake off any remaining pay. Finally, a new plumbing system will divert material away from the centrifugal bowl and into a brand new sluice box. But wash plant improvements are just half the battle.
Really, I think the biggest thing we need to work on here is his wife.
But she's
When it
scared
was-
of the
when it
equipment.
was- If we could turn this in from a one-man operation to a couple's operation.
And 2 people are going to do twice the production as 1.
Financially, Terry's already at rock bottom, and these fixes won't come cheap.
I know he's on a budget, but
Each
the
one of these-
vibrators are a few $100 a piece probably, right?
That's loose run and carpets and everything else, call it $3,200.
So we're at $3,200.
Yep.
You making more blisters, Terry?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm working on them.
Well, Juan and myself put some ideas together.
Starting with your grizzly, the way that you store your material. You actually leave it underneath the grizzly. Well, the problem there is it gets just sopping wet.
So our thoughts were grizzly it and then windrow it out here so the wind hits it and the sun hits it, and then put it in your plant.
The next one's going to be obviously your hopper.
Yes.
So we talked about putting a vibrator on the top so it can help that material vibrate through the hopper. Next, we're going to eliminate your bolt and actually have it all go down one sluice and extend it out.
And probably the biggest
yeah.
fix, this is going to be the hardest fix possibly as well. It'll be the cheapest fix, but the hardest fix.
We'd like to get your wife introduced into being able to help a little bit more. You know, I know that this is something that you guys started together and you guys really loved it, right?
Yes.
Now that it's a little bit bigger, she's a little scared of it.
Yeah, she's
But what
been
if we took a little
intimidated.
time and we taught her how to run the excavator?
Okay. Well, my hat's off to you guys if you could do it.
See, that's
Honestly, you know, I've been wanting her to be a part since I've got this going, but she's intimidated to the size of the equipment.
Yeah.
With just 4 days to save the mine, Freddy must give Tyler a crash course in prospecting.
So now it's time to do some investigation.
The area shows evidence of historical mining. First step, Freddy needs to know how well it was mined.
See, now this is getting interesting here.
Discovering the date this ground was mined is critical to determine if Tyler should retreat or battle it out.
Where'd this tree come from?
50 lineal feet at the most.
So right out of your cut.
Right in the center of it.
So I'm gonna try to age this tree using these rings as a reference or a guide to let us know when this was mined, because they would have tore every tree out of it. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
If the tree is less than 150 years old, Tyler's ground may be worthless.
38, 139, 140. This tree's 140 years old. That tells me that this was mined out in the 1860s, 1870s. And there was probably thousands of people in here at the time.
What we want to do is we want to cut this spray bar and angle the jet so they're actually hitting the material.
In the hope that Freddy's search for gold will pay off, Juan begins modifications to the trommel to improve its recovery.
I seen it flopping.
Yep, she's almost there.
Freddy and Juan identified the spray bar was set at the wrong angle.
Kind of like taking a shower but not standing under the shower head.
Completely missing the rocks.
Oh, there you go. Got her now.
Juan's plan? Rotate the spray bar 45 degrees off the vertical to ensure water effectively washes the rocks.
You're gonna run a trommel and equipment. You just gotta pay, and so far it hasn't.
Right here, you'll see these two holes. Go ahead and drill those out and then we'll go to the next size up, go to 3/8.
Tyler, he's spending money to be here. I'm helping my son here and hopefully get him on the right track.
You know, we come into situations sometimes where it doesn't require a ton of fixes. You know, something as small as adjusting the spray bar, it's gonna make a huge difference in the recovery. But all that is secondary. First and foremost, we gotta make sure that we find a spot that's worth mining.
Freddy believes the gold that didn't make it into the old-timers' sluices got trapped in the fractured bedrock.
This is Plan B. I hope we don't have to find a Plan C, because I don't know that there'd be one. Give her hell, bud.
Hope and pray that we can find some serious gold. I need to turn this thing around. I need to get my debts paid.
Perfect. Let's see what's in it. Well, fingers crossed, man.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Heck yeah!
There is. Holy cow. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 colors. And some of them pretty flippin' nice.
That's phenomenal, Freddy.
So that's in the bedrock that the old timers couldn't clean up.
They left a lot of gold laying there, didn't they?
Well, they didn't have a traco. They had bars and picks.
Right.
This excites me.
I'm hopeful.
See the different color carpets going here.
So what we're doing here, By having this second layer of carpet, what it's going to do, it's going to allow that material, if it does work its way through the miner's moss, it'll still get trapped underneath.
Okay.
So it's just giving you a second layer of a protection. Let me finish cutting this up, and then we can start working on the adjustment on them.
All righty.
How's she going, Juan?
It's coming along, Freddie. I'm just putting these riffles back together.
Looks good.
I'll start lowering the sluice then, eh, Juan?
Yeah.
All hands on deck right now to get this done. We've got, just a limited amount of time.
I'm excited to see the first scoop of material go through, see what it looks like.
Here goes. First bucket, Wano.
Moment of truth, huh, Freddie?
Yep, let's start a timer.
All right.
Let's do a 4-hour run.
Over the last week, Freddy and Juan have re-angled the spray bar to ensure water washes gold off the rocks, lowered the sluices, and installed custom mats and riffles to capture fine gold, and diverted snowmelt into their feeder pond so that the water they pump up to the trommel is clean. But Freddy's toughest challenge was finding pay. To make this mine viable,
Moment of truth.
Tyler needs at least 0.44 ounces.
Well, that's
You
a
go,
beanie.
Fred. I'll let you do the honors.
There's a hat in it.
That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
The first 4-hour test produced less than $250 with just 0.13 ounces of gold.
You guys ready to weigh this up?
Yep, I am.
Well,
Dang, look at that.
we're already ahead of where you were last time. There's a 1/2 ounce.
Half an ounce. Wow.
We just went past 3/4.
That looks really good.
That looks really good, guys.
Well, 0.77.
That's
0.77 ounces, an increase of nearly 600%.
I'm happy to see you smiling now.
A full day would produce 1.54 ounces. If the gold and snowmelt hold up, in the next month, Tyler could mine $65,000 worth of gold,
Thanks, Fred.
You're
Thanks a
welcome.
million.
You're welcome.
That's gonna save my
So-
season.
enough to pay back investors and provide an income for his family.
You've gone from what, $200 a day
Yeah.
in 4 hours to 1,300
Yeah.
bucks in 4 hours.
That's phenomenal. That's the best we've ever done.
Finally
I know.
It's been a great opportunity to learn. These lessons, they're something I'll always have and never forget. I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna mine the heck out of this thing and get all the gold I can. Thanks, Fred. Juan,
No problem.
completely turned it around.
Tyler and Kevin now, they actually have an opportunity to make a living. Before, they were not even paying the bills. But now, with what we were able to find them, and with the plant being fixed properly, they have a chance. They have a real shot at this.
I'm wasting time. I gotta get my ass to mining.
You gotta get to work, huh? Well, we really gotta get on the road, too. So.
Yeah. The biggest help that we helped these guys with was turning them into prospector miners. Now they've got a vision. Now they've got a goal. Now they understand the lay of their land. And the sky's the limit for these guys.
Travel safe, Freddy.
Thanks. I'll lead the way. Good to be with my buddy in his home state of Nevada.
So what do you know about Miner Mike?
He's been at it for a long time.
So he's a seasoned miner.
Sometimes it takes us coming in before they're willing to shut down for a day or two to fix stuff because they just want to keep making gold, This might be our first mine intervention, Wano.
Juan?
Hi, Juan.
Will Mercer.
Will?
Nice to meet
Will.
you.
Will.
Yes, sir.
And Mike, I assume.
Well, it's a cool looking little plant you got here.
Thank you. It's a work in progress.
So is it just you two guys out here right now?
Right now, yes, sir.
Okay.
How much gold have you done this year?
Well, we just got started so far. Bad year would be 100 ounces.
We need 4 ounces a day, and we're just not getting it.
Well, what do you think? Let's run it for 4 hours and see how much gold you get.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Right on.
They may see some things that may not work in their minds, but after a little bit of explanation, I think that Freddy, you might learn something from what I'm doing. Now, I'm not a rookie, and I believe I know the ground. I know how to catch gold.
Let's go! Get some gold!
First bucket, Juan.
Hope we can get lucky with some gold today.
Woohoo! Mike spent nearly 3 decades building this mine into not just his livelihood, but also his home.
This is my life, what I do here. I want to keep doing it forever. To live out in the country and look at God's creation every day.
This may be a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, without rebuilding their plant.
It would take us 2-3 weeks just to get everything redone.
He's worried he may be losing big nuggets. We need to start with what's going to get him the most gold in his pocket in the time that we're here.
Mike feeds pay dirt into the 1940s converted asphalt dryer he uses as a trommel. Large rocks pass out the end, where Will collects them in a waiting dump truck. The small material caught by the trommel passes down through a series of pipes into a jig. Anything smaller than 1/8 of an inch should fall through the jig screen and into Mike's first sluice run. The larger material passes into a 9-inch wide chute, which funnels into a repurposed oil barrel. Calling this a dewatering barrel, Mike punched holes into the drum so when it spins, the material gets broken up and dried out. This finest material then passes down through the holes and into his last chance sluice boxes.
Look at that sluice down there. We're only here for a week, so just trying to look and see if there's any things that we can help him recover more gold with. And he's doing a pretty good job.
You know, honestly, the big chunky gold he has, it's easy to catch.
Easy to catch those nuggets.
Yeah. It's the fine gold you got to worry about.
So maybe the bottom box, that little guy,
What are you thinking?
he's got all nugget riffles in there. They're just plugged right solid.
Yeah. That's something we're going to have to address. Just keep on looking.
This little chute here, that really isn't going to do anything the way he's got it set up. You know, with the amount of water you got coming off here, there's got to be some fine gold in there too.
Yeah, I would imagine so. This dewatering trommel, it's just getting packed up. We can fix that.
We'll figure something out to keep those holes cleaned out.
Keep from getting blinded up.
The dewatering trommel spins water off the wet rocks and reroutes any material that is 3/16 of an inch or less into the last chance sluice. Anything larger is sent up the conveyor to the tailings pile.
I'll keep looking around. You want to start panning?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it and see what we're losing.
Okay.
Juan will sample the tailings out of the dewatering trommel, where, if Mike's right about catching 98% of his gold, there should be nothing but clean gravel.
And there's gold in it. So right there, there's about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of gold. One of them's actually pretty sizable. The other 8, they're not real big, but they're there. It's a bad sign. You know, that dewatering screen, what we're doing there, I think we're actually creating kind of a muddy mess, and we're actually pushing it out the tailings conveyor. We're never even having a chance to be able to sluice it.
Last bucket. One more.
Now, Mike.
So I panned some of your tailings coming on that conveyor. Out of one pan, it was 3/4 full, about 9 pieces in it.
Dumping gold.
They're little, but they're there.
I'm shocked.
That's out of one pan.
Whoa.
We send pans through all day, every day.
Damn.
If there's 9 pieces in a pan going up, that could be millions.
Heartbroken?
Don't be heartbroken. That's why we're here, Mike. Freddie and I were here. We want to help as best we can. I'm just hoping that he's going to be open to changes, you know?
Time to weigh some gold up, huh?
Yeah, this is the gold we got from that 4-hour run.
Dump her in.
To cover the soaring cost of fuel, repairs, and make a profit,
There's some
Some
dust
chunky
in there.
stuff in there.
Mike needs around 4 ounces per day.
And dust.
Some fine stuff too.
This 4-hour test must deliver no less than 2 ounces.
There's
And then-
1.37,
Drop that guy in there too.
1.60.
We have some ideas. One thing is we know we're losing fine gold, and we need to focus on that. So it's not the most ideal situation, but I know you're worried about your nuggets, right? You know, those big nuggets going off the end.
The guy I know, he's a metal detecting professional. I thought about bringing him in to just swing a metal detector around your tailings piles and see if he finds a nice nugget there.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
See you in a minute, guys.
You know, my deal structure with Mike is I get a percentage of the gold at the end of the season. If he can't get his mind more productive and catching more gold, eventually it's all going to give. It's truly financially, it's a burden.
What I'm doing is designing the sluice box that Freddie wants to build.
In the cut trailer, Juan gets to work fabricating the first of their fixes.
It's going to be a little different. It's not just a regular straight sluice box. It's going to have a little bit of a taper at the front.
A bespoke 22-inch fine gold sluice to replace Mike's narrow 9-inch chute.
So you can see the shape up there. What's going to happen is the material coming off of the duplex jig is going to fall into that narrow spot, and then it's going to fan out and give it 24 inches of sluicing surface.
You know, right now, fuel costs are just killing everyone. But it's gotten to the point where this extra percentage could actually mean the difference of him eating or actually putting fuel in the plant.
One of the things that we really want to focus on is we want to make sure that everything's completely level and square and straight.
At the cut trailer, the new sluice is taking shape.
If there's any kind of bows or bends, what it'll do, it'll create a spot for that gold to go underneath and get lost. These magnets are set up so they're a true 90. You put them in, you turn them on, and it actually holds your plate in place, so that way you can weld it, and when you weld it, you know it's 100%, it's gonna be a 90 degree.
To make the angle stay perfectly straight, Juan has a clever trick.
So what we're doing here, we call these ribs, but what this does is basically gives the box itself a little more rigidity. So that way when we're moving it or when it's on the plant and it's turning, it's twisting, you know, it doesn't get distorted. So by putting these ribs in, it doesn't flex, it doesn't move, and there's no water going underneath the sluice. All right, we got the last weld here. Last weld, that was it.
Well, Juan's up there building that new sluice box for this area right now. I think he got the easy job. Me and Mike got the hard job.
Before they can install the new sluice, Freddie and Mike must remove the old chute.
Moving it all.
After 20 years, the old chute is stuck firm.
Felt like it moved that time.
Didn't budge. Shoot. Perfect. Hey, Guano.
Let's give it a shot, huh?
With 2 build days remaining, it's all hands on deck to install the new sluice box in the 20-year-old system.
Well, it's gonna be sad to see that old girl go, but out with the old, in with the new.
We didn't want to cut it out until we had it safely secured, because if we'd have just cut it loose before, it would have just fell before we were tied onto it. So got to get it done safe.
There, it's got tension on it, Freddy.
Okay.
Ready to cut?
Coming up.
Let's fly this kite. Bye-bye, baby.
Is Mike over there saying goodbye to his baby?
Oh.
That's part of his life right there that just got taken away.
Nice knowing you. Bingo.
Have to put some spurs on. Back to my rodeo days, back when I was barrel racing.
Freddy's first step, weld a bracket to mount the spray bar inside the free spinning barrel.
I'll weld to stand there. Long range welding. Oh,
Don't roll in.
sharp mother. Oh. When you guys retire this drum, you can sell it to a razor blade company. I can't say it's super uncomfortable, but I've been a heck of a lot more comfortable. Well, one more job done.
Spray bar installed, Freddy connects it to Mike's water supply.
Lots of stuff to do. We got to cut into his main line, put a valve on it, get a hose up there and get it hooked up so when we fire this plant back up, it's ready to go. Well, you want to cut that?
Yeah, definitely.
So you enjoying it out in the West?
Oh yeah, I love it out here. I mean, Mike has been a wealth of knowledge, you know, and what I've learned in the last 2 years with him is I feel like I could go to the Yukon and just strike it big. No.
You had those heavy Hungarian riffles that are made for coarser material, right? What those were doing is they were blinding over on you. So whatever gold you were catching in here, you were probably catching the first day. And then after that, the thing locked up on you like concrete, and then any gold you would have caught in here is now in your tailings pile. So this will alleviate that.
Win, 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 win.
It has been awesome to see those guys find all the problems in someone's plant and operation and not embarrass them, but show them a good, easy, solid fix.
Eyeballs.
You know, seeing the passion that they have for it and seeing that they truly do care to try to help us capture more gold. I mean, it's absolutely been amazing.
Well,
actually, that one's not square.
We're working late tonight because there's more to this than what we initially thought, like just cutting that stuff out.
Coming along all right down there?
Little by little, it's kind of small.
Yeah.
You burn yourself in one spot to weld to burn yourself in another spot.
Oh, yeah.
You look at it and you think, I can do that in 2 hours. 4 hours later, you're still screwing with it, trying to tear it apart. Oh.
You all right?
Yeah. We got to get it done because tomorrow's judgment day to see if what we've done here is going to work or not going to work.
If we get a 10% increase, I'll really be happy. It'll also make me sad because we've been throwing some gold away. This is what we got in the 4-hour run.
Okay.
And once again, we got a nice flat nugget that didn't fit in the vial. So we're gonna just pour in there what we got in the 4-hour run. We're in a little bit better material.
The first test delivered 1.6 ounces. Anything more than 2 ounces promises a profit.
2.20.
2.2 ounces, a 37% increase on the first run. Over a 100-day season, this could deliver Mike 440 ounces, worth over $750,000.
I am so happy with you guys coming up here and the work you did. You're gonna make us a lot of money in the long run with this stuff.
That's right.
That's gonna be a windfall.